The current mind you have now does not align with trading. Let me prove this to you. The market is full of uncertainties. You don't know what could happen in the market in the next hour, in the next minute. You are just speculating, all right? And this is why a lot of retail traders always quit before they see their success. Because I always say this, that trading is just like you have to go through a process that has to let you become a trader. Following the crowd always, mostly, can lead to mistakes or nothing special. So is it possible to train your brain to become a profitable trader? The answer is yes, and I'm going to show you how. But first, you need to understand something. The current version of you right now is everything opposite to who a trader is meant to be. What I mean by that is that the current mind you have now does not align with trading. Let me prove this to you with 5 reasons. The first reason is that your brain loves certainty. Where did you get this from? Your childhood. You may have heard this before. Play it safe. Don't take a risk. All of that, right? It has created a certain kind of mindset you have right now that does not let you embrace uncertainties. And think about it. The market is full of uncertainties. You don't know what could happen in the market in the next hour, in the next minute. You are just speculating, all right? Following a game of probabilities. So if you are somebody that you don't embrace uncertainties, the questions you will ask yourself is, what if I lose this money? What if the trade doesn't go there? Does that make sense? And so you need to understand that your brain is wired to love certainty. And so anytime you find a situation that is uncertain, you push back. Now, the second reason is that your brain hates losses. Now, this is a big one and a sad one because it takes a lot of traders a long time before they accept it, that losses is part of the game and you cannot run away from it. Now, this came from we attaching losses to failure or setbacks. So growing up, if let's say you experience any kind of, loss, it goes like, oh man, you failed. You were a failure. You were a loser. And so your brain hates that. It hates that. It doesn't want to associate losses to anything in your life. Now, the third reason is that your brain loves immediate rewards. And so it doesn't see long term. And this is why a lot of retail traders always quit before they see their success. Because I always say this, that trading is just like any skill that you have to develop. You don't go to a medical school for 2 months, 3 months, and then become a medical doctor. You have to go through a transformation period. Same thing in trading as well. You have to go through a process that has to let you become a trader by transforming your mind. And it takes time. And a lot of people cannot wait and be patient enough to see this day. Why? Because we want to see immediate rewards. Now, the fourth reason is that your brain loves to follow the crowd. FOMO, fear of missing out, herding behavior. This one right here, almost every single person experienced this growing up. We all went to some schools that everybody was going to. Our parents said some things that everybody was doing it in our neighborhoods, in our churches. Everywhere you go, people do what other people are doing. And this is very interesting. And that's why every single time I come across the famous quote by Warren Buffett, he always says that his strategy is quite very simple. When everybody is going into the market, he stays away. And when everybody is staying away, he goes in. He just want to let you understand that following the crowd always, mostly, can lead to mistakes or nothing special. But your brain, the current version now, loves to follow the crowd. Now, the last reason is a big one, is that your brain runs on emotions. Whether fear, greed, hope, whatever, it doesn't matter. Your brain loves to make decisions with emotions. And this is a big problem here because that is how you grew up. A funny story, but a beautiful one as well. I grew up with my grandmother. And so I will never forget that every single time that I was not feeling well is when I got the best meal, fried rice and chicken, maybe my favorite hot chocolate. So, Junior, are you okay? The moment I said no, I get fried rice and chicken. But anytime that I'm fine, I don't get the meal I want. And as a kid, I was able to identify this pattern. So every single time that I want fried rice or chicken, what do you think I would do? I'm going to pretend that I'm not fine so that I can have the fried rice and the chicken. It comes with so many different meals, not just fried rice and chicken. Back then, if you had cornflakes and milk in your house, you are rich. So all those kind of meals, you have to lie that you're not feeling well or something is wrong, then you get it. It's like a special day. So I saw that and I was using that in growing up. And I will never forget when the light bulb moment hit me. I realized that I was doing that even when I became a businessman at some point in my life, before I became transform from that area. Every single time I will approach a businessman, I will find myself complaining, oh baby, hey Cliff, how you doing? Instead of me telling the businessman my business strategy, what do you think I do? I start telling him how sad and how worried I am if this doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. So that he will be able to be like, okay, you know what? I feel sorry for you, so I'm going to invest. But that's not how it works. An investor wants to hear numbers, not emotions. Let me know in the comment, what are some of the emotions that you are recalling right now listening to me and be like, wow, man, this is true. I remember this was my childhood as well. Why are we talking about this? Because your brain is wired currently right now because of the way you grew up. And this is very important that you understand this, because in order for us to be able to discuss how you are going to transform your mind, or in other words, rewire your brain, you need to understand how it's currently wired. Now, how does your brain get wired? It's very interesting, okay? There is something in your brain called the neural pathways. Is this tiny connections, all right, in your brain, all right, big head. So tiny connections in your brain that is formed by the way you think, the way you feel, and every single thing, and it creates an automatic behavior. Why does your brain like creating habits or automatic behaviors? That's right. Your brain loves to save energy. So every single time it sees you doing something over and over again, what it does is that it starts to automate it so that it doesn't have to use the same amount of energy again to let you behave that way. Now, this is hard, because anytime that a habit is fully formed, it's difficult to break it because of the way it's formed. It's formed in a 3-dimensional loop called the trigger. All right. Trigger, then action. All right. And then reward. Now, trigger, action, reward. This is very interesting. You need to understand this right now. Something gets triggered in your mind based on what it has seen over and over again. All right, in your conditioned mind. Then the action is the behavior that we see physically. That means the way you act. Then the reward is the gratification you get. So the moment you keep on doing this over and over again, that habit becomes very difficult to break because it has been solidified in your mind. So how then do you rewire your mind as a trader? You cannot change what you are not aware of. So the first step is awareness. And I cannot say this any more better. You need to listen to this carefully now. You have been able to study the patterns of the market, or about to study the patterns of the market. But then you don't study the patterns of your behavior in the market. Why? Because nobody is talking about this that often. The same way you have a journal that you use to study the market, the edge, and every single thing, you need another journal specifically for your behavior. That means, how do you behave before London session? What do you do during the time that you're having losses? What do you do after you have a beautiful week? What do you do after you have a bad week, losing streak? What do you do? So the more you keep on writing all these things down, what starts happening is you start to study the patterns and you start becoming aware of the things that you are doing automatically without even you realizing it. Until you become aware of these behaviors, it is going to be very difficult for you to change them. You need to understand that your brain is conditioned, and you now want to switch up the current you right now to become a different kind of trader. So every single thing that you are now, you have to list them all down. So we started by discussing how you borrowed a certain kind of mindset from your childhood to where you are now. So while you are listening to me, okay, man, it's true. These emotions, these behaviors, you have to list them all down. Because what you're about to do is you're about to do the opposite of that. Because the current you now have to become the opposite version, so that you can start making the right decision. So if the current you right now is impatient, and you know it and you have admitted it by studying it, you have to learn how to become patient. But it's not just patient, it goes way beyond just that. So the first thing is awareness. You have to listen to yourself and be honest with yourself and reflect with the way you behave in the market or the way you even behave in life. Are you easily angered? Are you impatient? Are you disciplined or not? Are you the kind of person that you are afraid of decision making? That means you regret easily. What kind of individual are you? Write all these things down. It's very important that you understand this. After you've been able to listen all these things and you have become aware of it. Listen, awareness is not what you have seen. Awareness is what you have accepted. It's very important that you understand. Sometimes when people say, hey, become self-aware, self-awareness is not going like, oh yeah, I'm impatient. And then you go away. No, I am impatient and I understand that it's causing XYZ. So self-awareness takes time for you to get them. It's not just brushing through, oh man, I think I'm impatient. Oh man, I think I'm not disciplined. No, don't just do that. In which areas do you think not being disciplined is affecting that you have seen them physically causing chaos in your life? You need to write these things down. Now, the minute you are done with being self-aware, the next thing is you need to interrupt these old pathways. Now, how do you do that? It's quite very simple, okay? So the first thing that you need to understand is that your brain is currently wired. It's wired, it has created a habit, as I said, trigger, action, reward, no problem. So the minute that you understand your triggers, okay, meaning that when this happens, I'm about to do this. So you understand your triggers. So the action is where you counterattack. So what that means is that the minute you hit 2 stop losses, you know the trigger is about to get revenge. Yeah, now it's like, man, I'm about to go into the market again and get this. So the moment you get triggered and start getting angry because you had 2 stop losses in a row, your usual self will try to go back into the market to make the money back. What you then need to do is to sit down, all right, breathe. Now you're doing something else, because usually your brain already knows what it has to do. Because remember, your brain is a defensive mechanism too. It's designed to protect you. So it knows, I always tell people this, that your brain, the minute you have 2 stop losses in a row, because you have been telling your brain that you hate stop losses, all right? How did you tell your brain that you hate stop losses? You told your brain you hate stop losses because of the facial expression you make every time you hit a stop loss. So for example, stop loss number 1, stop loss number 2, your face is just cringing. You know, you're angry now. So what is it going to happen? Your brain's going to be, oh man, master does not like stop losses. And if master does not like stop losses, the trigger must be revenge to get my money back, which is action taking more executions. So what then do you need to do? When you now hit stop loss, what do you think you have to do? You have to smile. But Cliff, I don't feel like smiling. I've told you this before. Smiling is not a feeling. Widen the corners of your lips and show your teeth. The moment you start doing this, you are reprogramming something. Your brain is like, wait, why is this guy smiling even though the moment that I know of is not something that makes him smile? So now your brain is not getting reward. Now, in the beginning, you're not going to feel like doing this. All right? In the beginning, you won't feel like it. You'll be like, oh man, I don't feel like smiling. I'm angry. I lost money. This guy is saying nonsense, blah, blah, blah. When you are listening to me in the beginning, you're not even going to like what I'm saying. And you don't have to like it, because listen to this carefully now. Your brain is not trained to do what you want. It's trained to do what it's trained to do. Let me explain what I mean. If you do not want to smile, it's because your brain is conditioned not to want to smile when you hit stop loss. So when you start to smile by widening the corners of your lips and show your teeth, your brain eventually is going to be like, wow, okay, this is new, but I get it. You do it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 21 times. You are no more going to be angry when you hit stop losses. Now you're going to love stop losses. Now you're going to understand that losses is part of the game by just creating that new habit of counter-attacking the action. It's very important that you understand this. Same thing now. You wake up in the morning, your brain loves to stay in bed, look at a chart before maybe you get up to go do something. What do you then do? The opposite. Get up. The moment the alarm goes off, get up. You go to the washroom, you stand in the mirror. I am a profitable trader. I know today will be a great day. I know that I am learning from losses every single day. Wins and losses, I don't care. I don't chase the outcome, I chase the process. What are you doing? You are rewiring your brain to become a certain kind of individual that is doing something else other than staying in bed and just having your blanket all over you. Are you with me now? So, Cliff, what are you saying? That you need to, first of all, write down every single behavior that you have been able to identify that is killing your game. Whether in your life, in trading, study it. After you've been able to write all these things down, remember you're about to do the opposite of them, step by step, because it takes time to rewire your mind, because it took time to create the one you have now, the conditioned mind. So it is very important you understand that it's going to take a while, but you are going to get there. But you have to start counter-attacking these original behaviors you have now to start creating a new one. Now, the most important part of this process is how you repeat this new counter-attack way of destroying the habit. If you do it today and you don't do it tomorrow, nothing changes. You have to be consistent. 21 days, 40 days, 14 days. You have to be consistent. Now, I know this is maybe going to be difficult for some of you guys. So what I did was, look, I created a 21-day program for you guys, for the TP family. It's going to be in the description box, and you can just download it and you can follow it through. All right. Just read through the 21-day program. It's going to tell you exactly what to do when you wake up in the morning, what to do when you're about to go to bed as a trader, what to do in the afternoon, what to do when you experience losses. It's going to have every single thing you need to do, but it's going to be just targeting one area of a psychological pitfall, like fear of losing. All right. So what if, loss aversion and all of that, just one side, but then you will get the idea to understand, okay, so this is how I rewire my mind. Because if I just talk to you here and I don't show you how to do it practically, nothing changes. So right after this video, make sure that you go down there in the description box, download the program, follow through the program, and come back and let me know in the comment section, or maybe, send us a DM or whatever. Let me know how this program did help you. Now, guys, listen here. Every single week, I try my best to make sure that we bring enough content for you guys to be able to grow mentally. Now, I do know that some of you guys are saying, by Cliff, we just started, trading. We don't even know anything about strategy or anything about trading. And as I said, I have a surprise coming for you guys. And maybe by the time you're watching this video, the surprise is already out. So just keep your eye, on the community channel so that you can be able to see all the announcements. I'm super excited to see how fast we are growing as a TP family. So don't forget to make sure that you subscribe and then you share this video and then you share every single information you get here so that other traders around you can also grow. My name is Cliff Cheqona, retail trader psychologist, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.